Sale A. Sale A. In the sales comparison approach, each comparable sale blank will produce its own indicated value. When reconciling, the best sales are always the ones that require the fewest or smallest adjustments. False. Property rights conveyed, financing, conditions of sale, and market conditions are considered. Transactional differences. Tangible differences between the subject and comparable sales would not include market conditions. When reconciling, the intended use of the appraisal is an important consideration for the appraiser. True. What is reconciliation? The process in which the appraiser considers various indications of value. Within an appraisal, there is only one indication of value. False. The reconciliation process is based on the quality and quantity of the data and the appropriateness of the appraisal methods and techniques used in the appraisal. True. When reconciling, the best sales are always the ones that require the fewest or smallest adjustments. False. The concept of adjustments is based primarily on what principle? Contribution. When might the indicated value by cost approach not be reflective of market value? When entrepreneurial profit plays a significant role in the market. In reconciling the data in the sales comparison approach, the appraiser should ensure that the most reliable data is given the most weight. When valuing a proposed new building with a prospective effective date, an appraiser is utilizing a extraordinary assumption. What is another name for the cost approach? The summation approach. An appraiser finds significant differences between the conclusions of the three approaches to value. What should he or she not do? Modify his or her analyses and conclusions in order to tighten up the range. After reconsidering the intended use of the appraisal and the type of value being sought, the appraiser blank may realize one of the valuation approaches is inappropriate. With regard to reconciliation, how much information does VOCAB require in an appraisal report? Sufficient information so that it can be understood. If only one approach to value is developed in an appraisal, the conclusion of that approach becomes the final value by default. Which of these is the most appropriately rounded value conclusion for a property that is 5887 square feet and is valued at $164 per square foot? $970,000. Which part of VOCAB addresses communication of assignment results? Standard 2. In the valuation of an apartment building, which approach to value should be given the most weight? The approach that is the best supported. In what type of situation is a value opinion expressed as a relationship to a point of reference often appropriate? Phased appraisal assignments. Why is it important that an appraiser round his or her final value conclusion? To avoid misleading the client and intended users. Comparable sale 1 sold for $800,000. It required a positive $100,000 adjustment for location, a negative $80,000 adjustment for site, and a negative $60,000 adjustment for square footage. What is the gross adjustment to this comparable sale? $240,000. When developing the income approach, what may an appraiser need to reconcile? Market trend.